Christmas! And I'm already starting off this episode in a very unfestive mood because I was halfway through writing this review when I found out there's like 100 really bad Krampus movies I could have chosen instead. Oh no, John Hammond is in trouble. And here I am reviewing the obvious choice basic bitch version from 2015. I'm not supposed to enjoy these movies. I'm supposed to worry that Debbie Rochon's gonna have a mannequin's head shoved up her ass. Oh well, let's just do it anyway. This is 2015's Krampus.
This here must be what the Universal logo would look like if the company was run by Al Gore. So this movie starts with one of the most common sights you'll see on any Christmas: death by last minute shopping rush. Get out of my way! I have to find a Turbo Man doll! Okay, I really like this opening. I can tell this movie already has my kind of humour in mind with the sarcastic, real meaning of Christmas feel to this opening credits roll. We then cut to the house of our hero for this movie, 12-year-old Max, who, while his family seem to have the typical Christmas is more trouble than it's worth attitude, he seems to be a bit of a crusader for the holiday, even going so far as to get into a fistfight with someone who said that Santa wasn't real to some younger kids.
Well, I hate to sound harsh, but every kid has to learn the truth someday.
Oh, I know. I don't want it ruined. For the little kids.
Yeah, it sounds nice and all, until you realise the real reason it happened was the other kid gave Max a Starbucks coffee that said Happy Holidays on it.
Considering his mother is being played by Toni Collette, she should be happy that Max is easier to deal with than his brother.
Stuttering Stanley! Stuttering Stanley! Stuttering Stanley!
Stop.
What is difficult to deal with though is the relatives. You know, the ones you try to avoid every other day of the year due to them being assholes, weird, or having spent more time with Charlie Sheen than they should. I kid. I love Conchata Ferrell. She's probably the only reason that accursed show ever needed a laugh track.
So where's the dog? I need to get Mary.
That's all right. Lord Almighty. Looks like Martha Stewart threw up in here.
She's so tough, she's the only person to ever star in a movie alongside Adam Sandler and not directly kill herself afterwards. And that's an actual fact.
Naturally, with such an amalgamum of terrible people gathered in their home, things take a turn for the worse when Max's evil cousins steal his letter to Santa and read it out loud, humiliating him and his family, which causes the boy to go ballistic like he's Kirk Cameron at an abortion clinic.
I just wanted Christmas to be like it used to be, but forget it. I hate Christmas! I hate all of you!
And yeah, I know the drill, sleep with Fuller on the 3rd floor. Despite his father's encouraging words about family, which doesn't mean a whole lot when you remember he's off having rough sex with the Princess of Hell behind all their backs, Max is still infuriated by how Christmas seems to have lost all meaning for him, tearing up his letter and throwing it out the window, which seems to cause global warming to suddenly roll in. Hey, Jack Frost is in this movie with a couple of buddies. That doesn't bode very well for Stephanie Owen if she decides to take a bath. No, instead, with no power or people in sight, she leaves to go check on her boyfriend, but quickly runs into what is either the Krampus or Harvey Weinstein. This reaction is pretty acceptable for either.
Somebody better get Veronica Angel on the phone because it turns out the Christmas pals still have that tiny little glitch of killing people.
After a while, the father Tom and Champ Kind from Anchorman go out looking for her, but the blizzard is just getting worse and worse. Eventually they find an abandoned truck, and it becomes clear that something dangerous is hiding out there in the snow.
You packed guns on Christmas.
Always be prepared, Boy Scout.
Some of them carolers might have voted for Hillary. They arrive at Beth's boyfriend's house, but like the rest of the neighborhood, it's trashed, frozen, and abandoned. But not for long, as Uncle Howard is suddenly attacked by a feral Bugs Bunny, causing the guys to run back to the safety of the house, where with the blizzard still raging hard, all they can do is stay warm and wait it out. But at least the terror of this man-eating Santa monster is enough to bring this dysfunctional family together on Christmas.
And I just want to say I'm sorry for thinking you're such a spineless dick all these years.
That was a bit of a backhanded compliment, huh?
Wait a minute. Is that the point of this? Max's wish for his family to get along on Christmas, twisted by his anger, has summoned the Krampus, who in his own demonic way is trying to help? I don't think that method of therapy is going to catch on.
Later that night, as the fire begins to die, the Krampus makes his move on the house by doing a spot of fishing. Holy shit, the Disney monopoly has now claimed Full Moon Entertainment. After another one of the kids is taken, the wise old lady steps in to give us the backstory of their family's history with the Krampus.
It was almost Christmas. But this Christmas was darker, less cheerful.
Probably because Tim Burton is making it. Well, for the past few weeks I was complaining about a lack of evil cartoons. Looks like a Christmas miracle to me. Grandma explains that, like Max, she too had given up on her family and the Christmas spirit as a child, which summoned the Krampus and his Ewoks, who visited that night and dragged her parents away to the underworld.
Krampus, the Christmas Cenobite.
The only way to survive is seemingly to guard the chimney and wait until Christmas is over and the Krampus leaves. Man, this is genuinely getting pretty spooky. Good thing we have Conchata here to set the mood.
She says we're fucked. Because I'm old enough to know when life is coming at you with his pants down.
Ah, so it is Harvey Weinstein.
But don't relax too soon, because it turns out some of the Christmas presents in the house are traitors, and manage to lure 2 more of the kids to be delivered into the Krampus's hands. Hey, this scene is oddly similar to that one in Curse of Chucky. A family reunion, evil toys hiding in the dark and dusty attic. The big difference here is that Chucky was a good guy doll, and that is a 20-foot Jack-in-the-Box anaconda! Between the high-budget demonic toys and Ginger Dead Men, I think I know what Charles Band will be getting Universal Studios this Christmas. A cease and desist. Mildred Van Dam here manages to fight off the Krampus's minions, but just before victory is in hand, a horde of evil elves burst in, put out the fire, and make off with half the family.
Should probably lead with that tactic next time, Big K.
That leaves the man himself to arrive and deal with everyone else himself. And I will say this now, they have done a real damn good job at setting the Krampus up, keeping him hidden in shadows and really building up the anticipation for the reveal.
Knowing my luck though, he's probably played by Hornswoggle with a blurred shaky cam.
Oh, you better be fucking oh, okay. Grandma stays behind to finally face the Krampus after all these years.
Oh, okay. There we go. Damn it. One too many mince pies this year. Okay, sorry. Give me a minute. Hey, wait. My elf broke the window open a moment ago. Ah, shit.
And holy hell, that's actually a really good look. They didn't go overboard trying to make him look like a demon. There is a lot of human in the face. He just looks like a twisted version of Santa Claus. After Krampus shows Grandma his sack, the remaining members of the family make a break for that abandoned truck from earlier to make their escape, with more and more of them being picked off one at a time. And unlike most horror movies, I actually care. When all that's left is just Max himself, Crazy Christmas Ralph appears to him, and like his grandmother before him, just wishes him a merry holiday and gets ready to head back to the North Pole. Jingle these bells, motherfucker! No, instead Max yells to the Krampus that he takes back his wish, offering himself to the demon in exchange for his family. And what happened then? Some people do say. The Krampus's heart grew 3 times trollier that day.
Toss him in the hole, boys!
And after Max is shoved inside Bill Goldberg's hellhole too, he seemingly wakes up from a dream only slightly less horrible than the one Elijah Wood had in North. Only to find that now he and his family can have the perfect Christmas. Every day for the rest of eternity, because they're trapped inside the end credits of Conker's Bad Fur Day. And so this movie comes to an end with a Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare.
Don't worry guys, there's plenty of worse fates than spending the rest of eternity trapped inside a snow globe. I mean, did you see the Jensens down the street? Poor guys are locked inside the Krampus's toilet bowl cleaner.
Well, actually, it was confirmed in the tie-in comic to the movie The Shadows of St. Nicholas that they are not actually trapped inside a snow globe. It's just the Krampus's way of spying on their house to make sure they all get along from now on. Especially Beth's bedroom. Yeah, he's gonna keep a real special eye there.
And that was Krampus.
Okay, this movie was actually really good. The acting from all the adults was great, but it's always refreshing when they actually find kids that have some talent, especially when they're the ones carrying the whole plot of the movie. It had some great humour that balanced out well with the horror, and I was surprised by the effects budget this movie seemed to have with the minions. Although looking closely, it was pretty clear that Krampus was actually wearing a mask, so we never actually got a real reveal of his face. A little disappointing considering the build-up, but I can forgive it due to the idea of it giving the audience the chance to make up their own minds of what he really looks like. The only thing that kind of bugged me in the end was this movie's lack of on-screen kills. It turns out Universal demanded the movie be PG-13 to make it less controversial than, say, Silent Night, Deadly Night, but it just felt like there should have been more, or rather any, blood. In the end though, this was still a really good Christmas horror movie with a great message of family behind it.
And that's all for me for tonight on this festive Christmas season, so I'm Fedora, this is the Horror, save a screen for me, we'll see you next time, and a Merry, Merry Christmas.
When I'm breaking the finger, Lord, it's breaking my heart. And every Christmas Eve, my soul is always torn apart.
Hey, wait a second, dude. I feel as bad as you. I don't wanna live like this no more. I just wish I could start over.